What is happening, everybody? I see Jason Brown. How you doing, buddy? And Dan Brock. Got a couple of folks hanging out. We got some Pearson fellas up in here, y'all.
How's
It's
everybody doing?
a whole pair of them.
What's going on, guys?
Sure, a few more people come piling in here that usually kind of. So whoa, Brandon Thrasher, what's happening, man? How you doing, buddy? Josh Branson, happy Saturday to you, my friend. Chris Wolf, how's it going, bud? Top dog. Here we go again. Right on, Brandon. How you doing, Jason? Top dog, you doing all right? Dark Gravity. You never do. That's the problem. You sit in the back of the class and don't ever speak to nobody. You're probably back there doodling on your notebook instead of doing your schoolwork. Well, y'all make. Oh, there's the old fart. What's happening, buddy? Y'all make the two Pearson fellas up here feel welcome and right at home. We got Ryan Pearson, Pearson Custom Knives, and his dad, Rodney Pearson, who I'm sure 90% at least of you guys know both of them. So, because they are very active in the knife community on several different platforms.
Hope everybody's doing good tonight.
Whoa, Ryan got bigger.
Yeah. I can't see. I have to look close.
Why don't y'all go ahead and holler at me with what everybody's carrying, and we'll just do a little bit at a time as people come in. They can sound off instead of waiting on it. Blade Ogre, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Well, there's Brother Bear. Hey, now. Gary, what you doing there, buddy? Last Ranger, EDC Oz. Alrighty. So looks like EDC Oz is drinking a coffee. Dark Gravity's got an XM18 and a Panic Penguin. Don't let that penguin panic too bad now. Keep him calm as you can there, buddy. Rat 1 and a Damn Designs Fenrir for Dennis. Petrified Fish Beluga for Top Dog. The same old Murdered Out PM2 and CPM S45BN and a Rough Rider Sparkle Series Dr. Knife for Jason Brown. Well, get your chores done, Gary, so that you can play. Brandon Thrasher has the Spartan Blades Aster and the Wii Sushi and the Civivi Stylum. Chris Wolf's got his Cupo. Vero Axon in the pocket for Javon. What's happening, Ninja? Good to see you, buddy. What's happening, Mark Herrera? Ooh, Dan Brock's enjoying him a Sweetwater IPA. They do make a pretty decent IPA, man. EDC Oz has a mini bench Oh, patch. Okay, never mind. That's not a knife. Chris Wolf has his Praetorian G, Slim Midi. Blade Ogre has Medford Bust-a-Nut Pry Tool to open his beverages tonight. Oh, I know, Dark Gravity. I was just picking at you. He just didn't want the little feller to freak out. He's far away from home, and it's hot here. It ain't cold like he's used to. Ninja has the usual 5+1 for him. He's getting lazy in his old age. He don't want to list them all out. He expects us to remember them. Mark Carrera has Benchmade Grizzly Ridge and a Tucson TS 221. Dan Brock has a Panic Penguin. Oh, he's talking Dark Gravity. Gotcha. What are the Pearsons carrying? Holler out, fellers.
I got a mini Adamas on me tonight. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's the 20.5. I got a mini Adamas.
Heck yeah.
Re-op tribute.
I swear, everybody that has one of those mini Adamases loves it.
It's been a good knife. I beat on it hard, and it's held up good. Takes the edge easy.
Heck yeah.
I think the crew wire was a good change for him. He's always
Oh yeah.
3 or 4 knives.
Yeah, I think that was a smart idea. Oh, EDC Oz has Manix 2 and M390, Earth G10, and Mini Grip Sheep's Foot and M4, titanium scales, and a Lynch Northwest clip. Skaha 2. Oh, I think he's answering a question there. Spyderco Native Chief from Cutlery Shop, and the Avocado M4 Bug Out for Jeremy Russell. Mini Adamas for bees, along with a Sativian ST301, a Mylea, and a Trash Panda sack. And that's about it so far. Bees in the trap. Oh, and Inner City Pigeon. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming to hang out. Alrighty. I think I'm caught up for right this second. So, Pearsons, how's the weather up there?
It's pretty good. It's been hot. Well, hot for us. The humidity's what's so bad around here.
Past 2 days have been nice for us, man. I mean, real nice, cool mornings.
Yeah, I like those cool mornings. It has been cool in the mornings early. I work in air conditioning. Ryan's out in the garage all day. It's no air, so he's having it rough.
Yeah, dude, this year's been I don't know if y'all have had the same experiences, but it stayed cooler longer, and it seems like well, I mean, it is September, but still, I mean, we've been known to have heat all the way up through September, and then it finally started cooling off. But I mean, it didn't cool off, or it didn't start heating up real bad till towards the end of June for us, and then by the end of August, it's already started to cool down a little bit.
We've had
Not
the last two days have been cooler here, but I hope it stays that way. We'll find out, I guess.
me too. Definitely. So y'all staying busy, I hear.
Yeah, I work all the time. That's all I get done.
if
I spend hours a week in the shop and then get home every evening, work every night, weekends. It makes for a lot of work.
Yeah, I bet so. So how you staying busy with the knives?
Yeah, it's pretty busy. I'm not as backed up as I was for a while, but I'm still covered up right now. And trying to keep things to where at one time it was like 6 months wait to get people's knives, and people don't want to wait that long. So I'm trying to keep it around 3 or 4 weeks right now, and that way it's not such a long wait.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's quicker, but
I think when I got my last one from you, you quoted me. I think you quoted me 4 months, but it got here like a month and a half before that. I want to say
yeah,
it's a lot quicker than you quoted.
yeah,
But that shocked me when you said that. I was like, golly, he's backed up. And I mean, I was glad because that means you're having really good business.
yeah. Things have been good. It's with COVID and stuff, you definitely tell a difference as far as orders and stuff like that. But still, enough orders just to be keep things.
Yeah,
I think the last year or so, it's slowed everybody. Um, we still, my family owns a garage, and I've worked there my whole life, and so we got to work through it, and we actually stayed really busy at the shop, but everything slowed down.
yeah. I'm sure that COVID didn't keep cars from breaking down and
So
people needing to fix them. I know that a couple of the different, I guess, makers on Instagram have been saying that their business has dropped here lately, like the past month. But
seen a difference in it from what it was, but it's still good. I enjoy it. I it's more of a hobby than that makes a little bit of money to keep buying new equipment. That's all it is.
well, you have a lot of business for something just to keep from buying new equipment. I think you're doing pretty good.
I
You
think
still have knives with is Travis still selling knives for you? And his
yeah, I actually talked to him not too long ago, and I think he's gonna kind of talking like maybe starting to carry some different stuff. I've kind of got away from the chief and the little chief. It just, I mean, I still make them every once in a while, but I make so many of them after a while. I like to make different stuff. Get burn out making the same thing over and over. I think that's kind of the custom part of it. Is if you get into building a bunch of batch knives, you're kind of getting away from the custom side of things.
yeah, yeah. That So the Chief? What's your most popular model now? The Chief still, or
I would say there's more of the Chiefs out there than anything else for sure. Um,
I don't know.
it kind of varies. I mean, everybody's got a different preference. Some people, I do a lot of recurves. I get a lot of orders for recurves and stuff. Um, the Titan, I made a lot of those. I haven't made one in a while. They kind of fell off too. But I'm constantly drawing up different ones and building them. And usually I'll build a prototype and put it out there and kind of see what people think about it and go from there. I like that Titan. Uh, I don't even own one, but I I like it. I think Justin OCD, he's got one. Yeah, he's got. There's
Yep.
several of them out there. There's a lot of the knives I've made that I don't own one like it. I own most of them, but there's quite a few out there that haven't had time to make one for ourselves. Usually, when I say I'm going to build one for myself, it ends up getting sold or somebody don't want to wait, so I let them buy mine. Or he's working on some Hawks right now, 14-inch, little spikes, Tomahawk.
Oh heck yeah!
Cool.
Kind of like the one that Lefty got.
Yeah, yeah.
Right on.
I've
Yeah, those are nice.
got a new version of it that I'm doing. It's more of a bearded. It's got more of a beard on it and stuff than the first ones that I done. like I say, I'm always changing everything up, so
Right.
keeps it interesting for me too. I mean, everybody else they get something different, and it keeps it interesting.
Well, that's what's up. Well, I guess let's start at the beginning. Tell these fine folks how in the world you got into making knives.
Well, it's a long story, but I started. I've always been into hunting. Me and my dad, we've always hunted together, and never ever been satisfied with a hunting knife off the shelf. I don't care that we bought some expensive ones, and the steel, the heat treat, nothing was ever good. And so I got to checking in like to having a custom done from somebody, and it's expensive when you have a custom knife built. So I decided I've always been the type I build stuff, make stuff for myself. So I tried it. That's kind of how it all came about. Started watching YouTube videos and doing research and stuff. The first ones were junk, wasn't worth throwing in the garbage, but it's gradually come around.
After a few hundred, he's perfected it, or his, he's really come a long ways in the last few years. It's amazing to look at some of his old knives in the boxes and look at what he does now.
I think it was, he
Yeah,
was like 10.
I noticed that from the first one I got from you to the last one I got. That I mean, there was the first one was perfectly functional knife. Everything. I mean, it was nothing wrong with it at all. But it's like the second one, you almost couldn't tell it was made by hand. I mean, everything was so perfect and crisp. I was like, golly.
I appreciate that. I mean, it's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it, and the better equipment you get, the better things go.
Learn little tricks and shortcuts and
Yeah,
There's an art to it. I can't grind. I can't. I've tried and tried. He blows my mind to watch him.
it's pretty funny to watch him try to grind one.
he probably does better than I would.
I don't know.
I can upholster a sofa, but I can't grind a knife. I do all right on handles.
I let him do a lot of the hand sanding and stuff. I don't like that. I mean, to me, a higher end knife should be like a hand rub finish, not just a belt finish and stuff. Some people prefer a belt finish, but I feel like that's a lower end knife, and so Dad, I usually have a few ready, and he'll come over and do the hand sanding and do help me do finishing work.
Right. Well, that explains one question I had. Had a couple people pop into the old chat room. Well, Peter, Mr. Therapeutic Edge, how you doing, buddy? And Blue Collar Survival, Justin. And Forrest, how you doing, Forrest? I believe. Oh, Dan. Okay, Dan Brock had a question. Yes, yeah, Dan. Ryan, the guy on our left, makes custom fixed blades, which I'm sure he has some examples. I've got an example right here, but this is what I was saying about explaining something. But because I remember, like when I went over the details, I said I wanted a satin finish on it, and I'm thinking whatever the last grit he uses on the like with grinding it, that's what it's gonna. That's what I had in my mind. But this wasn't no belt satin. I mean, it was
That's hand.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that. Usually, I start out with whatever I end with on the belt, cut the opposite direction, cut all the scratches out. Somewhere around 800 or 1,000, depending on the steel, is usually where I quit with a hand rub finish.
Right. And so what you were saying earlier, Rodney may have well hands.
It's very possible. This is this is actually a belt finish. I don't know if you can see it. Like I'm not crazy about the belt finishes. I mean, it's a good working finish, but it's like well, it's what they call a Scotch-Brite belt, kind of like Scotch-Brite you use in your house, but it's on a belt. It leaves a pretty fine grain uh, if you work your grits up high enough before you use it. It's a decent. I
Right.
mean, like that's my knife that I carry to work and do everything with. It was kind of crazy to put the hand rub in it because it's going to get beat up when you use.
Heck yeah, that's a good useful blade shape on that thing too.
Yeah, that's one of the newer ones. Um, I've made a few of them now. I've made that recurve design for a while, and Tier One asked me to do one in a clip point. So that's where that one came about, and I liked it so much I had to build myself one. I've built a few others now for other people. It's always that's the way it is. I'll have a design, and somebody will say, "Well, let's change this about it or whatever." And I'm not one. I'll do whatever. I don't care what it is, and if they have something they like, I'll do it the way they want.
Yeah. How many do you have a clue how many of your knives Justin has? I mean, I know he's got his own little Pearson collection going.
I mean, I'm gonna guess at least 10. It may be more than that. It might be 10. It's quite a few.
Yeah, I mean, got to be.
He's probably got. He's probably the second biggest. Uh, Blade Banker has like 20 some knives. And, Justin's probably the. I'd say he's probably the second biggest.
Yeah, I think probably the second biggest.
There's a lot of them that's got 7 or 8. You know that. I guess that means I'm doing something right because usually they buy more than one. They'll usually buy a couple. And, like I said, I don't care what it is. Just like you drew your knife up what you wanted. You had in mind what you wanted. I had you send it to me, and we went from there. I'm not one that's gonna say no. It has to be my design or whatever. I enjoy making and enjoy the challenge.
Yeah. Well, you did it. I mean, it exact. It was a crappy drawing, but
I
you
still have.
you
Oh, and I meant to send it back with the knife. I should have sent it back with it.
but somehow you made an amazing knife out of a crappy drawing.
Hey, that
And
wood came good, didn't it?
oh, dude, I don't know if y'all can. Let's see if y'all can see this, but the handle scales on this knife are actually from a pecan tree that a buddy of mine cut down. And when he cut it up, he saw that it was spalted. So he brought me a bunch of like, I don't know, probably about 2 foot long, maybe 2 by 2 sticks of the wood. So I sent it to Ryan to see if he could put some handle scales on it, and them things turned out beautiful.
There's some of the spalting in it. This is a piece of it right here.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
It really come out good. It surprised me because riding into it, it looked like it was going to be a real light wood. But after getting it sanded up, rolling it up, it came out. It looked really good.
Yeah, it did. Let me Jason said shine a flashlight on it. There we go. Which
Yeah.
the wood's pretty dark itself, but
Yeah.
that should give you a better look at it.
It looks a lot like ironwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Has that color and stuff to it like ironwood.
And it seems like it's a lot more dense than I thought it was when he handed it to me. It didn't seem like it was that dense, but
it's a lot of woods need to be stabilized because they'll swell and stuff over time. But
yeah,
a lot of those woods, it's like that. You can take your fingernail, and if you can push your fingernail into the wood, it's too soft. But as soon as I tried that pecan, I know it was any hard. It's a super hard wood.
no, you ain't pushing no fingernail into that thing.
We've bought some stuff before that they say is stabilized and all this, and it wasn't. So I started buying a lot of my wood from people that's all they do is stabilize wood. I like a lot of people like the carbon fibers and stuff, which I ain't got nothing against them. I like the burl woods and stuff because everyone's different and they have, you get it about any color or any kind of grain you want. They make some cool knives when they're done.
Yeah, Jeremy Russell was asking, if you work with ironwood?
Oh yeah.
He's making me a hatchet right now, or a tomahawk with ironwood handles on it.
We used ironwood burl, regular ironwood. You can go back, like on my Instagram, you can see some of the ones that's been done in ironwood.
Yeah, I know. I think when I sent you this wood, and I initially asked you if you would work with wood because most of your stuff I saw was micarta and carbon fiber and stuff like that. And I think you mentioned something about it was going to be nice to get back to actually working with a little bit of wood because you hadn't in so long.
Yeah, lately that's a lot of what I've been doing. You kind of get, you've seen carbon fiber and micartas, they're all the same. And when you get into the woods, I mean, it's nice to see what you start out with that block, and then when the time you get done with it, it might look completely different, just like your knife did. It kind of blew my mind when I got it finished up. The wood turned out on.
Yeah, it looked great.
That's curly mango there.
That's curly mango. That's one of mine now.
Oh wow, that looks good. Heck yeah.
Nice, good.
Dang, that's pretty.
Yeah, that's stabilized. I mean, they impregnate it with that resin. That stuff's hard as a rock. It'll never swell or crack or anything like that. That's one. The ironwood don't have to stabilize. Some woods don't have to be. Most woods do because they will swell.
Heck yes. Well, I know one thing that's unique about you that something you do that a lot of other custom fixed blade makers don't do, especially you know it like guys that are working out of their own shop or at the house or whatever. Is you were one of the first ones I've seen switch over to. I mean, you still do carbon steel, but start doing stainless steels.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
because
you see it. A lot of what started taking off was the EDC sized fixed blades, and carbon steel's all right. It ain't really. I prefer stainless steels because nowadays the stainless steels is unreal what you can do with them. And I mean, I do my own heat treat. I cryo everything. Uh, I think like everybody, you start out with carbon steel because it's simple to heat treat. In the beginning, if you got a forge or a torch and some oil, you can heat treat a lot of carbon steels. Once we got the heat treat oven and cryo tanks and all that stuff, we started getting into the stainlesses, which I had been wanting to get into them for a while before we did. It was just a big leap to buy a professional kiln and cryo tanks and all that. It's expensive. I've worked with just about every steel out there. There's a couple real exotic steels, that's super hard to get that I ain't worked with, but for the most part, I've just about worked with all of them.
yeah, I can remember. So you posted on Facebook when you first started messing with it, I think, and I'd seen other guys mess with like 154 cm stuff like that, but you would post up like S35VN and M390, and I was like, whoa, what is he doing? This guy's working magic over there.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you which one's my favorite. I like them all. I guess if I wanted something just to beat on and carry around every day, Nitro V is hard to beat when it's heat treated right. A lot of people hasn't got to experience Nitro V because there's not a lot of production companies that's using it, and even the ones that are, a lot of them ain't heat treated properly.
Yeah.
Uh, if if it's heat treated right, Nitro V is hard to beat.
Yeah, that's what you did mine in. And I've been very pleased with it, which I've yet to be able to use it for its intended purpose, but it makes a hell of a kitchen knife.
Yeah. And
And,
most
and
most of my personal knives are Nitro V. I have a few in L Max because I like L Max steel too. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a good steel. But I would say the majority of my personal knives are done in Nitro V. If that says anything, I mean I've got about every kind of steel there is, but um, I still prefer the Nitro V over 'em. It holds a
yeah,
good edge, and when it comes time to sharpen it, you can sharpen it. There's some of those steels, shit, you just can't sharpen them unless you have like a wicked edge or a Tomahawk or something like that. You just ain't gonna sharpen some of those steels.
exactly.
You mess them up more than do good.
I mess
Yeah,
them
I've
up.
been,
Fine sharpening.
That's,
yeah, that I've gotten other Nitro V since, but this was the first knife I'd had in Nitro V at the time, and I was very pleased with it. I mean, it really performs like edge retention wise, it performs way better than what I thought it would.
yeah. It's I think like it started out as AEBL. It's just a souped up version of AEBL steel. I it they designed it for like kitchen cutlery. Was the original intended purpose for the stuff like big chef's knives and stuff like that, to where they would hold a good edge even at a thin, edge. I played around with a lot. The first ones I done, we both I built us both a set of skinning knives, and we used them for a year. Um, but I think with mine, I think I skinned like six deer that year with it, and never touched it, never stropped it, never done nothing to it. It was still razor sharp at the end of the year.
Man, that's not bad at all.
No, that's because you're hitting bone and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Heck yeah. We got a few more people popped in, and some questions for you guys. Oh, Stacy Bolstered Blades is up in the chat. How you doing, ma'am? Good to see you. Leo, how you doing, brother? Um, I know I saw another one or two. OGA, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you, man. And I know Justin Blue Collar Survival was asking your opinion as far as Nitro V goes for bushcraft.
I'm not sure that I would. I mean, I'm sure it would do it. It depends on, just like everything else, every knife needs to be built for that situation. It would depend on the grinds and stuff like that, but I definitely feel like it could hold up in bushcraft.
Right.
I
For
wouldn't take
sure.
a kitchen knife and Nitro V out and try to. Depends on how
So,
big it is.
yeah. So you are making chef's knives, huh?
Yeah, I make some. We've for a while I made a lot, and it kind of got into the, like say, the EDC thing, and that really took off with the smaller size knives and stuff people can carry on the daily.
Well, I'm probably going to be getting up with you sometime in the future about getting a Nitro V kitchen knife.
I can definitely make it for you. That's what I built my wife a set, and I built hers out of Nitro V. They've held up good.
I feel like it would do because I mean you want something that, because of course it's going to get dull. You're using the crap out of it, especially because I work in the kitchen at work now, and I want something that it'll hold the edge fairly well. I'm not to where I'm not sharpening it every 5 minutes, but also to when I hit the steel with it, it's actually going to sharpen, and I'm not going to sit there for 30 minutes trying to get just a slight edge on it.
Right.
And I feel like Nitro V would do pretty good. just judging by how this sharpens up.
Yeah, it would be good, real good. That like I say, that was its intended purpose when it was designed. From the research and stuff I've done, it was for kitchen cutlery.
Well, what's going on? Me with Knives, Mark, Mateo, Z-Man. Oh, and I didn't forget about you, or I did briefly, but what's up, Brant? Good to see you, man. And chat's moderator heavy tonight. About the whole room's blue. So I had heard, it's been at least a couple of months now, rumors of you maybe venturing into folding knives.
Yeah, that's in the near future.
In the near future, very near future, huh?
Yeah, it's I think in the at first it's gonna be more slip joints. I like slip joints a lot, and I've been wanting to do that. I think that's kind of where I'm gonna start there and go from there and see where it goes. I don't know how crazy I'll get with it. For sure, I wanna do some slip joints. I've
Well,
got everything ready to go. Just got to get caught up enough to be able to do it. I was hoping to start at the first of the year and start on it, but here we are, September, and I still ain't got to get started yet.
yeah, well, all right. You guys in the chat hear that? No more custom orders for a little while. Let the man get to his slip joints.
Don't say that.
Yeah, he's still doing fixed blades too.
Yeah, I mean, I've like I said, been building the Tomahawks and fixed blades and stuff. So I'll never quit making fixed blades. Like that's where it all started with me. That's kind of where my passion's at, and fixed blades, hunting knives, and stuff like that. So I think that'll always be a big thing for me. But I definitely see where there's a lot of interest and stuff. I've a lot of people asking me about folders. I definitely want to do something.
What do you think your first pattern you'll attempt will be?
Well, probably like a Lanny's or something like that. That's kind of style I like. I like a lot of the old school patterns and stuff. I don't know that they'll be, 2 or 3 bladed in the beginning. I would like to eventually maybe work my way up to some of those, but they're pretty intricate to build. But single bladed, clip points, stuff like that would be
that sounds perfect. That's my style right there. Anything which I like most blade shapes on slip joints, but I definitely prefer single bladed. I don't know if y'all remember sales guy for Blue Collar Survival. He's in the chat, and he said, I can sell your knife at Knifes and More, where we sell knives and more.
Hey, right. That'd be a good salesman right there.
Oh, and Mateo, name a steel and you got it. He said, I'll buy a fixed blade. What steel?
Yeah, any steel you want, but that's available.
There's a couple I haven't been able to get my hands on, but not me.
What's that new one, that Magna Cut? I'm sure you probably hadn't grabbed any of that, have you?
It's out there. It's available. It seems like Maxima and Rex is the 2 hardest to get your hands on. Like, you got to know somebody or be on the end somehow to get your hands on that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of the steels that can't get a hold of right now.
I think that's about the only.
So, dude, we could be looking at some because are you gonna make your slip joints? Are they gonna be purely a traditional style? Or are you gonna do micarta and stuff like that, like more modern titanium and stuff like that on them? Or
basically like what I do now. I want to take that into the slip joints. It could be fat carbon, it could be burl woods, just about anything.
So we could essentially end up with somebody get a slip joint with the craziest materials you can think of, fat carbon fiber and daggum Maximum or crew wear or any kind of crazy steel they could come up with on the blade.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with it. I haven't seen. I mean, there's a lot of people making slip joints, but I think they're sticking a lot to like the 154 or stuff like that. They're not mixing it up enough. I don't think.
No, let's see. I think it's mostly, like you said, 154. Then there's some doing M390, and then other than that, mostly carbon steel. So, what you're saying, people can essentially contact you and have their choice of materials on a slip joint.
Yeah,
that's pretty fantastic because that doesn't exist that I know of anywhere. Because I mean, most of even the custom makers, you basically tell them the pattern and maybe the cover materials. They're just going to use whatever blade steel they normally use. And
yeah. Well, that's the way. Just like the way I do it now. I mean, if you want it, I'm gonna build it. Like as long as I can get the steel, that's the thing. There's been a couple times that I've had a few people ask for some real exotic stuff that you just can't get your hands on. I hate to tell somebody that I can't get it, but it is what it is. There's not many times, for the most part, usually I can get it, but there's been a few that I haven't been able to. I would like to. Anybody out there knows where to get Mac or Red? Let me know.
that's a good question. Anybody in the chat? Max Smith and Rex, that's your moderators. That's your mission. Go find it now.
Good luck.
Yeah, people are that's got some people in the chat excited about basically giving them a menu and to choose from as far as how they want their knife. Which y'all probably can't see the chat, do you?
I just pulled it up on
He's
my
got-
phone. I can see some of the comments.
I can't see it, but he can see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see get into the slip joints. I like slip joints. I'd like to see him keep making the fixed blades because I like how he's been switching it up. He made a tactical version that he's not into tactical knives, but he's wanting to try something different. So he made something. I really liked it. Get it, Rose. Show it.
It's hard to see it on that camera.
I like that
You can
knife.
see I call it the talon. It's like almost like a claw.
Holy crap!
That's a ripper right there. I really like that style.
The clip or swedge, whatever you want to call it, it's ground to zero, so it's basically sharp too. And
Holy crap!
that's really the first. That knife has kind of one purpose, and that's it. I usually don't make stuff like that, but I wanted to give it a shot. It's hollow ground. It's pretty bad knife.
It looks like so it's intended for like pruning mulberry bushes. Is it one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. You built it for. What's the steel on that one?
That one's Nitro V.
Oh, right on. Right on. Which it wasn't a tactical knife, but didn't you made Rodney a fighter, didn't you? At one point for a birthday or Christmas gift or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's a recurve, but it's S35. It's hard to get it in there, but black micarta handles.
Got a lanyard in the.
Oh boy.
I made him a bigger version of it, which I don't think we could ever get it in the camera, but it's like a 12-inch blade. It's the same knife. It's got a zero grind clip on it, so it's sharp on the backside. Which, in my opinion, that's what makes a fighter. A true fighter needs to have a sharpened clip on it.
That's my
Right.
everyday. It's in my truck.
That's what he carries everywhere with.
That's my limb remover. I carry it in my truck, catch a limb hanging out.
It's like 17. I think it's right at 17 inches overall. It's a pretty big knife.
Golly.
I don't get to make a lot of big knives anymore. I used to make quite a few.
It turned out sweet.
I've made some kukris and stuff that are a little bit bigger than that, but
Well, you need to just what needs to happen is for you to make some big knives that like custom. We need to get the word out to these blade sport guys and have you can build a bunch of competition choppers.
yeah, I enjoy making the bigger knives too. I built. It wasn't a great big knife, but a decently sized knife for Chris Gonzalez, and it was in 3V. He sent me some videos and stuff. He's done a lot of chopping and testing with it and stuff, and he says he hasn't ever seen a steel stay sharp and do what it'll do, but that if you heat treat them right, that's what it'll do.
Mateo asked if you make a good skinner. If I remember correctly, that was your intention when you first set out to make your first knife was a good skinning knife, wasn't it?
Yeah. I make several different versions of skinning knives. It just depends on what you want. If you want a caping knife or like a big belly knife or something like that. But yeah, that's where it all started. That's where my main focus is hunting knives, skinning knives, stuff like that.
That's one of mine.
They just
Get enough light.
yeah, definitely. If he's interested or something, I can send him some pictures. I can't. We don't have good light in here. It's hard to get them to show up on the camera.
Yeah, but I mean, and if nothing else, he can at least you probably have some on your Instagram he can look at. Hey, matter of fact, I'm gonna drop y'all's Instagram link into the chat so they'll have it. They want to go click on it. So, and here's a question, and just out of curiosity, you've got a model called a Rhino, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know around here, it's a common nickname for a kid named Ryan is Rhino. Does that have anything to do with
Yeah, definitely.
it?
That's my dad started it when I was a kid, calling me Rhino, and I think I get called Rhino more than I do Ryan. So that's where all the original, like the Rhino is. There's like 4 different versions of the Rhino now, but they're all built off the same platform. It's just the difference in whether it has a harpoon clip or a clip point. They're all the same knife, same size of knife. It's just a difference in blade shape. This is a Rhino. This is more of what you call a Tanto Rhino with a raised harpoon clip. And then,
Oh, dang.
like that one I showed earlier, it's also a Rhino. It's the corner on it. But yeah, that's where it all started.
Yeah, his nickname is growing up. We called him Rhino.
Dang.
Must be a
Yeah,
common thing country people.
it is. I mean, like I got a bunch of probably I'd say 80% of the Ryans I've been friends with over the years, that was their nickname was Rhino.
He originally started out marking his knives with a Rhino
Yeah.
as the maker's mark.
Yeah, the very first knives I built, I'd say for the first year, they all have a rhino etched on them, and I just didn't like the way it looked, so I've done away with it. Just started putting my last name on them. I think it's just a cleaner look.
Yeah, I dig that. I mean, it it's funny because it's just, I mean, like you said, it's just your name, but it's one of my favorite maker's marks. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, man, that's just slick, dude. It's just the guy's name, but it's in a real clean font, and it's
Thank you.
in the, I mean, it's in there and it looks good.
Some of them, if you put too much on the blades, like billboarding and stuff like that, it takes away from the knife. The cleaner the etch or the stamp, however you want to do it. A lot of them now, I've started putting them on the spines, so there's nothing on the blades at all. Just the logos on the spine, which is Pearson.
And see that it's smart because you want something recognizable, but you want something, minimal as possible. I mean, what's more recognizable than your last name? If that,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, it's
It's
perfect.
like our family shop. It's Pearson's Auto and stuff. So, just carrying that on.
Well, hopefully we don't get you swamped, but I know there's people in the chat right now that are already
Yeah,
itching for a Pearson. So,
my phone just went off. So if it's somebody in there, I'll miss it.
oh, what's up there, Shane? Shane Gables, good to see you, buddy. Snuzz Nuzz says billboarding is all right on 1095. Patina's away and a few apples. Somebody's ticker's messed up. Who's having heart? And somebody having heart trouble in the chat. Somebody needs a ticker fixed. So okay, Micro, you got three sizes of the Chief now.
Yeah, yeah. There's the micro, which is the smallest knife I make. Um, then there's the little chief, and then the chief. And um, I can't remember exactly the chief. I think is like 7.5, maybe close to 8 inches overall. I don't have one up here. The little chief was right around 3/4 of an inch or an inch shorter than that, and then the micro is like 5.5 inches overall. It's pretty small. It's just like a 3 finger handle, something you can slip in your pocket or whatever, and never know it's there.
Oh wow, yeah, that's handy right there.
I got Here's the micro that I finished up today. Um, like I say, it's where you can't really tell, but that's it in my hand.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's tiny.
It's super small.
What in the world? Uh, I do need to fix that somehow. I don't know how that got on there, but I changed the little thing at the bottom to have y'all's name in it, and somehow it got added on top of an old one. But that won't take me a second to fix real quick.
Three-piece set.
Alrighty. I'm trying to sneak in on my other phone and not actually be on. All right. Okay, good. Ah, we're inceptioning. Is everybody's brain still intact? Jeez Louise. Holy cow. Everybody still alive?
Yeah, Ryan run off. He'll be right back. He went to get him a drink.
Well, let me, let's see.
Purge warning.
Say what?
Oh, yeah. Purge warning.
I hope not. Get it straightened out. There you go. John, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. I'm trying to,
I'm just making sure you're good.
yeah, I'm trying to edit this. Wish I took it down. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. Boy. And boom. All right. No, that was not very fun at all, Mark Herrera. That sucked majorly. It was still making noise when the phone was off. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Technology.
It's just the apocalypse. Nope, nope. Any insurance claims? I do not have any insurance, so I'm I guess I'll pay out of pocket. I'll leave it alone before that sound happens again. It can't. The phone is off, completely off. Okay, where were we? I completely forgot where in the world what we were talking about. What'd you get to drink, Ryan?
Man, I am always drinking Red Bull. Keeps me going. Unfortunately, I need to quit drinking the damn thing. I think that's what keeps me going every day. I'm not a coffee person.
I've tried Red Bull and the Jaeger bomb, but I ain't never tried a Red Bull by itself.
Yeah, Red Bull tastes kind of like, I don't know. I drank them for a little while, but they tasted kind of like perfume or something to me.
Yeah, I don't drink the regular ones. I used to drink the cranberry ones, but they quit making them, and I like the peach ones pretty good. They're kind of like you remember the old knee high peach?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Stacy said you're asking for diabetes drinking all them Red Bulls.
I don't know. My doctor did the same thing.
This is my
Mountain Dew.
Sun Drop.
Oh, Sundrop.
Yeah, I get. Do y'all have that in South Carolina?
Yeah, I like getting it in the glass bottles because there's like little pulp in it.
I can remember back when I was a kid going to Myrtle and stuff, and they didn't have Sundrop in South
Really?
Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got it now. We've had it as long as I can remember. But like I said, like the glass bottles are rare to find. Like you can't really find them in the grocery stores and stuff. You find them at the little smaller gas stations normally.
Yeah. Yeah, they're better in a glass bottle.
Yeah, I think the big drinks around here are Cheerwine and Red Rock, and then Blenheim's ginger ale, because Blenheim's just right up the road, like hour and a half from here, and they got some killer ginger ale, like the actual real stuff. They got the spicy and then the mild.
I've tried that. I haven't tried it.
I'm not a big ginger ale. But, I don't drink much of anything except Red Bull, I guess.
Red Bull and water.
Coca-Cola. Occasionally.
Where are y'all at in North Carolina? How far are y'all from like Murphy?
Murphy's on up towards the mountains.
We live in Taylorsville, North Carolina. It's have you ever heard of Charlotte?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're less than an hour from Charlotte.
We're right next to Hickman, North Carolina.
So you're closer to me than I thought.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, Myrtle's like a 4.5 hour drive from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all come through. Do y'all go through Monroe?
Yeah. My wife is she's originally from Monroe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so y'all come right through where I live whenever y'all go to the beach. Like once you get through McBee, when you're on 151, you get like the next town. Once you go through McBee and Pine Ridge, then like that whole next stretch, about 4 or 5 miles, that's all Hartsville right there, where the hospital is.
McBee, that's speed trap.
Yeah. That's. I mean, you. Which the dude, because they I can't remember what it was. The guy was mad at the cops for messing with his son or whatever, and that's why he put those signs up there.
Yeah.
And it's on private property, and they can't do nothing about it. So.
You know it pisses them off. That.
Oh yeah. Which they don't have, but one, like they only have one cop anyway. Like that's their whole police force. The rest of it's patrolled by sheriff's deputies. So.
Yeah, we don't. For the last like 15 years, we've went down to Emerald Island, North Carolina, down there more than to Myrtle. Myrtle just got some populated up and stuff. You know, you can't even go out on the beach. There's so many people out there.
Yeah. Oh, dude. The last time I went, and we weren't even going to go on the beach. We went down there to go we want to take Marley to get like one of those helicopter rides and just do all the little touristy stuff that she never gets to do because we just don't do that crap. And we decided to just take a trip down there and let her do everything we could get done in a day. And we just happened to walk out on the beach, and I mean it was like shoulder to shoulder for as far as you could see either direction.
That's the way. The last few times we went, that's the way it was. And you can't enjoy a vacation when it's like that.
No.
Not me, anyways. I mean, like Emerald, we go down there. I mean, there's a lot of people down there, but you got 20 yards on either side of you at least that you can get out on the beach without people being all in it.
Yeah, Matt. Well, I think the last time we went and stayed more than just like one night, we got one of the little chintzy. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but the little resort types with they had the lazy river and stuff. And we didn't go. We went to the beach one time at night when there wasn't nobody down there. And other than that, if we wanted to get in the water, we went down to the lazy river and floated around in it for a little bit, and then went out and did stuff. We didn't set foot on the beach.
My wife's family, they do the campground thing down there at Myrtle, and
Oh, what is it called?
they have like Ocean Lakes and
Yeah, Ocean Lakes. Yeah.
Pirate Lake and stuff like that. Yeah, they've done that since she was a kid. It's all right, man. They do a lot of stuff in those campgrounds, but it's the same way they're jammed in there on top of each other.
Yeah. Dark Gravity said that sun drop is highly addictive. Talking to
Yeah.
Rodney, he said he's never met anyone that drinks it that doesn't always have one within reach.
I don't drink water. I drink sun drop. Nothing else. It's bad. It's so good, but it's bad for you.
I can't drink.
It seems like it tastes a little different from what it used to. I don't know what it is. It's a little sweeter or something, but maybe
Well,
I need to spike it up a little.
probably back in the day they used sugar instead of that corn syrup.
Yeah, it used to say wood rosin or wood resin on the bottle, but it don't say it anymore.
Huh.
Can't sure let me drink wood
on the bottle.
Well, maybe that's what them little things floating in the glass bottles are, and I just thought it was orange pulp.
They're good for kidney stones, sun drop.
Yeah. The Mountain Dew's good for giving you kidney stones.
Yeah, it will. That's for sure.
Which the sun drop don't have caffeine in it, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Okay.
It is. Yeah, it's caffeinated.
Ester of wood rosin.
It's hard to tell what the hell. Very cool.
They're talking about crazy sodas and drinks. Dude, they still make Fresca. Sales guy's a Fresca guy. I hadn't seen Fresca in forever.
I know, like I was saying, when we was kids going to Myrtle and stuff, they didn't have Sundrop, but they had a drink called Surge. And
Yeah.
it tasted a kind of a lot like Sundrop. I haven't seen it in a long time.
We had that where I grew up in Georgia. Like, it came later. It was like when all the high caffeine drinks came out.
Yeah.
Dark Gravity says Sundrop is out of Pulaski, Tennessee. He's been drinking it. Oh, so he knows from experience how addictive it is. He's one of those people that's always got one within reach.
And he's dead on because he's always got one within reach too.
I carry him in the back of my truck, the back seat.
He takes a case.
I drink them hot. I don't really care for a cold drink. Once in a while, I've been outside and it's really hot or something, I'll drink a cold drink, but I usually drink my drinks hot.
I can't drink soda hot. I mean, I will if it's necessary, but
me neither. My drink's gotta be cold if I'm gonna drink.
I swear a hot drink makes me thirstier than just not drinking anything at all.
I don't know how I got into drinking hot drinks. So,
Cause you carry it everywhere with you.
yeah, I guess because I carry them around and they're hot in my truck. And I drink them. But yeah, I don't hardly ever put them in the refrigerator anymore. I just drink them off the counter hot.
John, do you still have that first night you got?
The the EDC with the green micarta.
Yeah, I think it was green.
Yeah, with
What
the
was
black.
it? 52-100 or something still?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. No, I sold it.
I
A
thought
guy
that
wanted.
was 52-100. It's been so long. That's a good steel for a carbon steel. That's a really good steel.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was pleased with it, and I had a guy wanting a fixed blade, EDC fixed blade, and so I sold it to him, and he still got it to this day and loves it.
I think there's a couple of those knives out there. Uh, it's identical to that one. At the same time, I had a few people want one just like it. I still enjoy 52-100. You know, it's for a carbon steel. It's one of your most corrosion resistant. I mean, it'll rust just like any carbon steel, but it's got more resistance than most.
I hear a lot of people having trouble with their knives rusting, even S35. I mean, I don't know if it's the area they're in.
Yeah, I've never had none of
Even I got '01 tool steel knives, and they haven't rusted. I hadn't took any special care of them as far as keeping them on when I'm not carrying them. I hadn't had any trouble at all with rust.
I keep all my knives oiled down. I use mineral oil, just straight mineral oil, because it's good and thick and it'll stay on the blade, especially on carbon steel blades.
The
Yeah,
only time I have any trouble with anything, any kind of corrosion is if the time period, like fall, early fall, and through spring when I don't have any AC or anything running, and I'll have to be real particular with everything to keep like it's some sort of corrosion resistance on it because I don't have the AC pulling the moisture out of the air. It'll be so daggum humid here.
try that mineral oil. You can get it like Dollar General. You can get it at drugstores, places like that, but it works good.
And it's food safe, isn't it? Mineral oil, or is it not?
Yeah, that's why I started using it. Like on when I first started making kitchen knives and stuff like that. A lot of them were carbon steel, and you could use that. And you can put it on the wood, everything, cut the whole thing.
Yeah,
And
the sheath.
yeah, it works good. It lasts too. You know, it ain't like you wipe WD-40 or something like that on it. Ain't gonna last no time.
Oh yeah, no.
That oil is thick enough that it will leave a food on there and stay there.
I've had decent luck with that ECI stuff. And I haven't like actually tested it to see how long I could let one go without reapplying it. I just end up reapplying it like every other day or so just to be on the safe side. But I haven't had any problems since I started using it.
I Well, I had a guy that he had got one of my knives secondhand, and it had a couple little spots. It was 52-100. It had been blackwashed, but there was a couple little spots on the blade, and I asked him, you know, if the other guy that he got it from said he had cleaned it with that EDCI oil or cleaner, whatever you want to call it, and
Uh huh.
all he had done with it. Now, you know, something could have got on it and rusted it other than that. But it says he
Yeah.
cleaned it, have a spot on it. He shipped it. So somehow between shipping it and getting it there, um, he's a good guy. So even though he didn't buy it from me, I had him send me that one, and I built him another one just like it out of stainless steel, so he didn't have to worry about
Well, daggone, that's customer service right there.
that. Yeah,
hooked him up. That's for
Yeah.
sure. That's true.
But he bought, I mean, he bought a knife from me after that, and actually bought 2 knives from me after that. But if you treat people right, they'll treat you.
That's very true. That
I think Blue Collar's checking out. He's got farm work to do in the morning.
all right, Justin, you take it easy, buddy. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you hanging out. And there's Joe. There's another one of my favorite makers in the world, Lancelot Leather. I don't know if y'all know him.
Man,
Yeah,
he
I've
does
seen
some
some
nice
of
stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think I'd like that's a good combination right there. And I think I'm gonna actually get him to make me a sheath for the little bird and trout knife.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen his work. He does some good work.
How's he putting that the logos on there? He's got like but they burn into the leather.
It's man, I hate to even answer because I'll screw it up, but I know it's got to do with the dye and an airbrush and some. I mean, it's basically I think the logo ends up being where there's the least amount of dye, so it's almost close to the natural leather color, and then he kind of whatever color the piece is going to be that it's like I guess the negative
Right.
instead of it being like you're actually doing the logo, you're actually doing around the logo, and the negative space becomes the logo.
I think a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into leather work.
No,
There's a
I,
ton of work, and especially if you do it right and do nice.
yeah. Which I don't know if do y'all have y'all around horses very much?
No, not really. I mean,
Not
we
much anymore.
But like, I mean, you would know the difference between a good saddle and a cheap saddle. How yeah, like the stuff like that mat, dude, it's like a good saddle. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's all different grades in your leather and stuff.
hmm And the stitching is like it's so tight. Like you get some where it's the stitching's kind of loose and you can move the threads around. His is like it's part of the leather.
Yeah, I've seen several of the YouTubers have his work, and I've been going to check into like one of the mats or something, but I hadn't got around to it. But everything I've seen looks good. Coasters, the mats, everything. I thought it was cool the way he done the logos on them.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Here's one of the coasters right here.
Yeah, that's cool. That's one of
I
Lefty's.
think I seen the post you had
D10
done where you had a wallet and stuff. Look,
Yep. Well, that's in my somewhere up here. Yeah, I got all kinds of Lancelot stuff. It's fantastic. It's the best leather work I've ever had, and I've gotten from several different people. There's the wallet.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and
plays with the colors and stuff in the leather.
it's softening up quick. He makes his own balm that you can treat it with and condition it with, and I mean it works. Who do we have? What's up, Mike? It's Ryan Pearson on the left, the man behind Pearson Custom Knives, and then on the right is Rodney, his dad, who's the man behind
Oh,
behind
man.
Pearson Custom Knives. So we got behind every great knife maker man, there's another man that's responsible for him.
He's quality control.
Yeah, I'm quality control, man. So we fuss a lot. Oh, no, we get along good. He's my best friend, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool that work in his shop and do. You probably would cut out like handle materials and do a lot of sanding and.
Yeah, that's my main role is like he'll let me cut stuff out and do hand satin finishes and a little bit of finish work. I do some finish work, fine detail work. I don't do
Well,
any grinding. Uh,
well, if you're responsible, like I said, for this satin finish on this knife, I can definitely vouch for your finishing work.
I can't remember for sure that I've done so many. It's possible that I did do that one.
I can't really remember at that time. That, like I said, that back then, 46 months behind, and
We was slammed.
we was getting them out, finally getting away from that. I'm glad. I don't like telling people that it's going to be that long because, a lot of times people lose interest if they're going to have to wait that long.
I was dead set on one I wanted and who I wanted it from, so it wouldn't have mattered if you said it would have been a year. Well, I reckon I'll get it in a year then, because
There's a lot of makers there that tell you here and stuff, but I try not to. I still work full-time job, and this is evenings and weekends. So I try to do as much as I can, but there is some weight to it because of that.
right. Do you plan on? I doubt you have anything even an estimate, but do you plan on going full time with knife making at some point, or no?
It's a possibility. For a while when I was so backed up, I kind of was thinking I was going to have to, but right now, since I work, my grandfather, he's owned this shop for 54 years, and um, he's not able to do a whole lot, so I doubt that I'll be leaving anytime soon. Um, but there's definitely a possibility down the road that it could be a full time thing.
What's up, Paper Tiger?
Right now, I'm gonna stick it out with him and see where it goes.
So it's one of those if it happens type things right now, and you're not planning on it. You don't have a game plan.
Right, it's working good the way it is now. Other than a little bit of wait time, but um, the having a full time job gives me some freedom to be able to put the money that I make from the knives back into the knives, whether it be equipment or I keep a lot of steel, I keep a lot of handle material, because that if I don't keep that stuff, it just adds time to the build, whether it be a week or 2 weeks, and with the way shipping's been lately, it could be longer than that. So if I have to wait every time somebody orders a knife, but on a week or two, that's just another 2 weeks there that before I can even start the build. So I try to keep a lot of stuff.
So what's the latest equipment you bought as far as like upgrading?
Grinders and a little bit of everything. It's once you get the big stuff, it comes down to getting your shop laid out the right way, and so everything flows. You start on one work table designing and go all the way around. Time you get to the end, you've got to finish knives.
Right.
That took a long time getting the shop laid out the right way because you think you get it set up the way you want it, and then you'd want to change it or do different cabinets, different tables, and I think we finally got it dialed in pretty good right now.
We stocked up on a lot of stuff at blade shows, like mammoth, different carbon fibers, gosh, all kinds of materials.
Bought a
At
bunch
blade
of
shows to save on shipping.
higher end stuff like mammoth ivory and mammoth molar and stuff like that I've been wanting to play around with. That stuff's expensive. Some of those sets were, just a set of scales was over $200.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's super expensive, but you never know. I mean, I definitely I'm gonna build myself one. One of the sets I got was for myself, but there's a couple other sets too. I like building a little bit of everything. And
Yeah, I
I hadn't
think
got
that single blade Lanny's clip you were talking about, slip joint would look good on with some mammoth on it.
yeah,
Dang,
definitely.
right. That'd be
Yeah.
sweet. I hope I get the first one.
No, I've, I think the first 5 or 6 are already claimed. I just got to get busy on it. Now, hopefully, it's gonna be pretty soon. Everything's here. Everything's ready to go. It's just getting these builds that are promised done and getting to it.
Right on. Well, I wonder if anybody in the chat has questions for Ryan or Rodney, pop those in. I know they'll be happy to answer them for you. My question is, how much of a learning process was your heat treat and cryo process? How is that
Yeah,
pretty?
it's took some time. Your every steel will give you a baseline how to heat treat it properly. And since I do a lot of my stuff in smaller batches, it makes it a little easier for me to heat treat. Uh, but research and trying it, like I won't make a knife out of a new steel without trying it. Every steel, I build the knife and test the knife and see how it does before I let anybody have one. Because every steel reacts different to different temperatures and different cryo times, stuff like that. It's just
I'm sure you
all
probably
about.
got a notebook that thick, don't you?
I do. I've got a file full. I have a drawer and a filing cabinet that's all it is just heat treat recipes.
Jeremy says, no question, just want to say Ryan makes an awesome knife and is a great maker to
Never
deal with.
slow.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Jeremy.
We sure did, Mateo, but we're going to have another one since there are more people in here since then. Jason Brown found he said that he found a site that says they sell Maximum steel. Mastersource.com.
Thank you, Jason. I'll definitely check into it because so far I haven't been able to get my hands on it.
Oh, we got a few new people in here. Jigsaw. What's happening, buddy? Z-Man. EDC Oz. And EDC Oz is the man. Jeremy, the other Jeremy. Nothing but EDC Jeremy. I think he said earlier he plans on at some point working with Magna Cut Mike, but hasn't at this point. That's correct, Ryan?
Yeah, it's coming. It's haven't got to yet. Just trying to get all the other stuff, but it's definitely coming. I've seen that it seems to be doing pretty well with what I've seen and talked to people. I'm definitely interested in. That's something that I can get my hands on. I know where to get it, but there's just some steels that are elusive.
And I guess with that Magna Cut, with it being so new, you don't really know if the price to if it's worth the price that they're charging or whatever. If you're going to want to charge your customers an extra bit for that, and you don't even really know how it performs yet.
Yeah, I'd have to do some testing with it. some steels is crazy prices. You got a good steel and something, say Nitro V or something like that, and then some of the other steels, M390, M398, stuff like that. You can almost triple or quadruple the price of a bar of steel.
I want to know what's your favorite fixed blade style that you make. What's your favorite? All of them.
I guess it would probably be the one that I carry all the time, this recurve clip point. It seems to be the one that I grab more than any of the other ones. But it's the Rhino clip point. You could see it on Instagram with better pictures and stuff.
I tell you, well,
as far as a hunting knife goes, it would be this. This is the knife that I built us both a matching set. It's Damascus steel with the curly mango, and that would be my favorite hunting knife. But I would have a hard time if I just had to pick one.
Yeah, pick one. I like that dagger you made.
Yeah, but that's not really a practice.
It's cool, man.
Z-Man's carrying his nimble and baby banner. So what, start to finish on just your average knife that you make, what's your what time range are we looking at?
Right now, say 3 weeks. I mean, you're talking about like if I started a knife right now, how long would it take me to build it?
Right.
Just one single knife. If I was only working on it, I would say, it all depends on the steel. There's different recipes and different finishes, but roughly 20 hours, somewhere like that total put into a knife. That's not counting you got 24 hours of cryo time, and it's heat treating and temper cycles and stuff like that. That's just working on it.
That's not bad at all.
You can bust them out quicker than that. That's what I average out, because a lot of mine are hand rub satin finishes. I hand sand my handles and everything. A lot of people do belt finishes on them and stuff like that. I just not crazy about it.
It helps when you got somebody in the shop with you, like I can help him out doing hand finish.
You got
but I had
you
to.
got
I've been taking it easy lately. I've been.
You got your little hand satin elf over there to do all that for you.
They've been working me to death at work.
Yeah, he hasn't got to work much in a while.
All that overtime's been hard on me.
I try to get him down here. But like I say, since I've got caught up more and stuff like that, it makes it a lot easier, because there for a while I was trying to run like 10 knives at a time to try to get caught up, where used to I would run one or two orders at a time. But when I got 6 months behind, I started running like a batch of 10 at a time. I mean, they might all be different, but as long as the steel and stuff like that was the same, that way I could do heat treat and stuff together. It helped me get caught up quicker. I had to have a lot.
Yeah, that's one thing. Keep staying organized and being able to plan ahead and have light steels and and like knives being made at the same time, so you can move a little bit quicker. I'm sure that helps. But if you're getting in custom orders where they're just all over the place, I'm sure that puts you a little bit behind too, don't
It makes you scramble a little bit. Yeah.
it? Yeah.
One shipping mess up, not get a order, not package not delivered, of materials, and it can throw your whole thing out of whack for a while.
Mm.
We've been
I was-
lucky, pretty much.
Yeah. We've had good luck with shit.
We had one that bounced around for about 3 weeks. It went back and forth across the state, and it finally made it to North Carolina. And, and like the postal services, well, no, it got bad, then it got good, and then I heard it took a turn for the worse again about their deliveries.
Yeah.
We've been lucky on what we've shipped out
Yeah.
and everything. Everything's been delivered quick.
I've thought about checking into FedEx and stuff like that. I ship everything USPS, priority, and there's a place up the road that does FedEx, but I've had good luck with Postal Service. Everything I've shipped stuff to Canada, everywhere, and it's always done good and showed up on time. I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. I've had some packages. I had one that got gone. Said it was delivered me something I had ordered, some equipment, and the company told me to keep rocks because the Postal Service says it was delivered, but they sure the hell didn't deliver it.
Dang.
Yeah, that was either put in the wrong box or
Or my
got it
sorry
wrong.
mail lady.
But see, all they got to do is scan it and hit a button, and it says it's delivered. It don't never have to be actually delivered. So
Right. It was scanned like a mile from my house where everything else was scanned, right at my mailbox or at my house when they was delivering. So I know she screwed up, but there wasn't nothing they would do about
There's
it.
a couple of comments,
nope.
like an 8-inch, made with a coffin handle.
Whatever you want.
Oh, Mike, Lone Wolf was asking what in your opinion is the toughest steel you make for heavy use, or like knife, like toughest steel you use for on.
TNT,
In these are one
I
of the
think
toughest.
that's one of the toughest that I've worked with. Best stuff's
You can't
Is that
hand that. And that's the toughest stuff. I sanded and sanded.
I think spent a week trying to hand sand it and just never could get it like I wanted
That's
it.
Justin's OCD 3D.
There's a couple other ones.
I can't remember what it Rockwell at now. They checked it.
64 and a half.
64 and a half. 64 and a half. HRC 10V is a beast. It's a nice.
that sounds like matter of fact, I'm sending the knife out to Mike. But have you ever worked with you don't usually forge, but have you had any kind of experience with Crew Forge V?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what that big fighter I showed you earlier, that's what it's made of.
Oh, okay.
It's a good steel, I mean
Yeah.
it holds up for carbon steel.
I've chopped limbs with that thing. I'll throw it on the 4-wheeler and take it with me and hack limbs off or chop whatever across trails with it. It ain't what it's made for, but I hadn't chipped the edge yet. So it's held up good.
I have that knife I have in Crew Forge VI I say testing it when I first got it. I was playing with it, and I was cutting a daggum 2x4 in half, chopping a 2x4. Didn't realize there was a wood screw in it, and it didn't chip the edge. It rolled it. I mean, I hit it, sparks flew up. It looked like fireworks display, and it rolled the edge. Didn't chip it. I said, "Daggum."
Yeah, they did a good job tempering that.
I sent it to y'all know Paul Schutte, don't you? Had the Edge of Perfection sharpening
Oh,
service.
Yeah.
I ended up sending it to him to sharpen, and he said he even had a little bit of trouble with it. Like he said, if I hadn't warned him about it, he would have thought something was wrong with his grinder.
Yeah, there's some steels that are tough to sharpen. That 10B, I guess that's probably the toughest steel that I've seen. And that holds up good. You know, there's steels that you can get just as hard as Rockwell and stuff out of, but they're brittle.
Yeah.
That stuff there, you know, you run it like that one. I run it 64.5 Rockwell. It holds up good. It's just hard to finish. That's the only thing. It's hard to grind. I do a lot of my grinding after peak tree. Minimize warps and stuff like that. It takes a lot more belts and a lot more time. The warps
Yeah.
ruin some blades when they warp, so I try to minimize that as much as possible.
I was looking at your Instagram. I was looking for some of the bigger knives. People were asking about big boys, but yeah, I found. I mean, not the handle material that I don't know what handle material. It's gonna be something cool, but daggone, where'd it go? It's just on here.
I wish you had that kukri up here. He made a kukri a while back. Good God,
Uh-uh.
beautiful. He ground a fuller, hand ground a fuller in the blade.
It's a shot.
That's a beautiful kukri.
Yeah, there's a few bigger ones on there. A lot. Like I
Oh,
don't post them all.
here we go.
Yeah, there's the kukri. Yeah,
Golly.
yeah, that's a beast. That thing is.
Yeah, I love that knife. That thing is awesome.
Yeah, I freehand ground that fuller. That's a 2-inch fuller all the way down from both sides. That was a project.
Daggone, I bet so. Good Lord. 01.
Yeah, I kept that one for myself. I've
I
been
saw
wanting to do one
I
for a
saw
while.
where Justin had commented, and I thought he was saying thank you, like, but you were saying thank you for the compliment or whatever. I was like, oh, daggone, Justin got that one too.
Yeah, there's a few big knives on there. I don't get a lot of orders for bigger knives. I enjoy making the bigger knives. I've got a couple that I'm working on now, some Bowies. I really enjoy making Bowie knives with guards and stuff like that. You know, it's not something I get to do a whole lot, but when I do, I enjoy it. I'm working with some A2 right now. This is the first A2 steel that I've worked with, but to see how it does.
Well, that's crazy that you've done all kinds of exotic, crazy stainless before you mess with A2.
Yeah, yeah. I like to try everything, and that was one of the ones I haven't tried. So.
Oh, here, this is the one that chef's knife. That's the
Yeah,
one.
that's the one that's my wife's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. Well, hello, Christine. How are you, ma'am? Christine said hello, Ryan.
Hello, how are you?
And Jigsaw Blade said, "Holy Fuller."
That is,
It is, man. That Fuller's bigger than most blades.
Yeah. Yeah, that it was to lighten it up because that's like, well, back in front of the handles, it's like 5/16 thick steel.
Mm.
So, the taper tang and pullers and stuff like that to get as much weight out of it as possible. But still got the big spine and stuff for strength. A lot of people don't realize it, but a fuller is like an I-beam. It adds a lot of strength to a knife.
Yeah. And no, I mean, it makes sense now that you said it, but you don't really think of it like that. Just the layman wouldn't.
Yeah, more surface area makes it a lot stronger.
Oh, this this must be one of those the first knives you're talking about that you made with the rhino etched on it. You made that, right?
That's that is that's actually a gift. That was a gift from a good friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That-
was a surprise gift.
He's been getting his folders down pat if that one.
Yeah, I wish.
I was about to say, you can go ahead and you can start selling them folders, right? You
Yeah,
right up there with the big dogs now.
yeah. Maybe one of these days.
Well, there is Zach's stuff. He said we've got Rodney Pearson and Ryan Pearson.
Alright.
What's up,
Oh,
Zach?
Pearson's Custom Knives. What's going on, Zach? You've been listening. You've been lurking. There's Pat. Hey, Pat. What's up, buddy? I didn't see you sneak in.
The chat.
Do you stabilize your own wood, Ryan, or do you buy it already stabilized?
I buy it already stabilized. I buy a lot from like Kieran's Koa and stuff. He seems to have the best stuff out there. We've talked about it because it's pretty pricey. A lot of the blocks are like $50, somewhere around in there, and that's one knife is all you're gonna get out of that block. So it's pretty pricey, but the time that it takes to stabilize it and stuff like that, there's companies that you can send it out to and have it done. It's just easier for me that way. I can see what I like and I can order it
Right.
already ready to go.
I don't know which one they're talking. EDC Oz asked if you can show the hand sword again for the people that missed it earlier.
That's the one that rides in my truck every day.
Golly.
Wherever I'm at, it's with me.
What's that thing weigh?
Oh Lord.
Man, it's not real heavy.
It's not real heavy.
No, it's got a distal taper all the way out to the point. So a lot of the weight's been moved in. It's a beast. I mean, but it's not built to be a chopper. It don't have a lot of weight in it. It's
But it
built
chops
more on the
good.
fighter principles with the sharpened clip and stuff on.
Like I say, I carry it on the four-wheeler and chop limbs with it all the time. And, it gets on to me for it.
I mean, it'll do it, but
I
that's
haven't
not
had any
its
problem
intent.
with it yet. I figure if I break it, he'll make me a new one. Maybe.
Maybe one of these days.
It's balanced good. I like it. It's one of my favorite knives that he's made me.
He's got more of my knives than I have.
I had a hard time. It was hard to get this one from him.
He seems to claim a
Then
lot of knives.
He made me this sheath. It turned out sweet. I did help some on that.
How does that usually go down? Does he just say, "Well, I really like that knife," and somehow he ends up with it?
Yeah.
I figured.
You said that was my knife. I said the hell I did. That's kind of how it goes.
I know
He's got more of them than I do.
that's funny as hell. I noticed you, Worm. I thought I said hey to you. I guess I didn't. I noticed you, but didn't acknowledge. That's what it is. But how's it going, buddy? And there's another new one right in the chat there, Charles Henning. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Yeah, I guess Peter's going to be ordering one of them from you, Ryan. He said that's the Pearson custom for him.
Yeah, that fit Peter right. He needs a big Bowie like that. It feels killer in the hand. Say that's my limb remover. I carry it.
Peter probably carried inside the waistband.
Yeah.
We can hook it up. Like I say, I like building the bigger knives, so just don't get to a lot. I enjoy it. It's just something about having a 12 or 15-inch blade in your hand that it's a lot different than having a 3-inch blade.
Yeah, and it's not it's not flimsy like a machete. I mean, it's an actual.
Oh yeah. Some of them, usually start out like 1/4 inch, but time you taper the tang and do a distal taper on the blade, it lightens them up, but you still have that strength from the thicker spine and stuff to take some abuse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It locks in my hand.
What's the handle material on it?
It's black canvas micarta.
Okay.
It's
Oh
got
wow.
and stuff in it.
That's a good question. It might be that one right there. What is the biggest Bowie you have ever made so far?
Bowie wise, blade style is probably that one. I'm trying to think. There's
11. I think it's 11.
There might be one that's just a shade bigger than that. Like I said, I built some like 15-inch that kukris and stuff, but I think that's pretty much about the biggest. But if you want bigger, we can go bigger.
he's he's about like Joe. Just because he ain't never made it before,
Yeah.
don't mean he can't. So Joe said the trick is your arms have to be long enough to pull it all the way out of the sheath, or you just wear it around your leg, make it turn into a boot knife. I was going to show blade over that kukri.
Yeah, you should go to cook. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this one or not, Blade Ogre, but here's a kukri he made that's pretty. Dude, you can do some damage with that thing. Holy cow! It's one of those. I think it's Rodney's knife there. Josh Branson said that makes his man parts tingle. Makes him do the Tim Taylor. Leave that fuller on that kukri though.
Yeah, I think I built that kukri more just to, I don't know, make a statement, I guess. I built a couple others, but not with the fuller and stuff. The fuller adds a lot to it. I think it makes it look cool too.
Oh, it does. Golly.
That's what I call a 2-inch fuller. It's just a 2-inch contact wheel on my belt grinder and free-handed in, and that's the tricky part. With it being a curved blade, you can't use no rest or anything like that. So you have to freehand it from start to finish. And both sides got to line up, got to be the same depth, and stop at the same point. So it's a little tricky, but I got it.
What's going on there, Grumpy Grunt? Good to see you, man. Yes, I I believe if we lived back in them, the days where the people got their heads cut off and I was an executioner, I think that would be my weapon of choice for chopping off heads. Is that kukri there?
They knew what they was doing back then.
Yeah. Well, hey, Zach, you missed the first part, and simple answer to your question is you'll just have to wait and see. No, he's asking about if we will ever see a Pearson custom folder.
Absolutely.
Soon.
It's on the way.
Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll see.
So yeah, I told y'all that was big because EDC Oz his comment is just yes, slip joints in any steel. Mind blown away. Garen Pandalope, good to see you, sir.
So,
Welcome. And Zach's excited.
Yeah,
The crowd goes wild.
We get on.
And honestly, I wonder why nobody has done that yet. I mean, they know how big of a deal blade steel is with knife people.
Yeah, yeah. I
They
think
know
everything nowadays.
they know how knife people don't like to be told no when they want a certain blade steel on a certain knife in a certain blade shape.
it's nice to be able to get all the variety that's out there now. Like,
Everybody's got a
for
preference.
cookware, I mean, and steel's come a long ways. So I think a lot of them I like. Uh, I can't really pick a favorite one that I like. Uh, it seems that, and a lot of the production companies are getting into the changing up steels, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody's got a preference, and why tell somebody they can't have a knife that they want in a certain kind of steel? Sometimes you're gonna have to go to a custom maker to get that, but at least the option is out there.
Welcome, Michael Morgan. Speaking of Michael Morgan, I've got to run grab something off the porch real quick. Took me like 30 seconds. Be right back. I got a which has been at the post office. I'm finally able to get it there and get it today with a package from Michael Morgan for something that's going in the giveaway. As soon as I get everything situated, we're gonna do, which we're gonna end up doing 2 in 1 because we bypassed 900 straight to 1,000. So we'll have to do a 900 and 1,000. But just real quick, I was gonna open that up and show the which I unboxed it on the live stream as well, but Shane Gable sent in a more knife that's going in to the giveaway. Zach, it would be this one right here. Zach wanted to know what my favorite Pearson custom design is, and it would be this one. If you can see it, Zach.
That's
the
a
flashlight.
John Robbins designed Pearson built.
Huh?
Oh, that's John. That's
I
John.
said that's a John designed Pearson built.
Oh, flashlight. Hold on. Oh, here we go.
Same way with us. Let's see it.
There we go, ish. Okay. Alrighty. Cut into this bad boy and see what Michael sent. And I wanted to wait till he was on here just in case he sent like live animals or something. He would be accountable. Mark Herrera. How goes it, buddy? Welcome, welcome. She's a beaut, Clark. There we go. This is it's a USA made Kershaw. Oh, it's the 14C28N bare knuckle, which is pretty stinking swanky. And this one's a beaut as well, Clark. I don't know what's going on with my lights. They're not. There we go. There we go. That's better, I think. Used handle, new blade. Well, it must be a lightly used handle because there's not. Looks pretty brand new to me. Yeah. Stacy. Stacy likes copper apparently. So I've heard a lot of copper from her the past 2 days. So yeah, that is that along with the Mora and other items to be determined. Hopefully within the next week or so. Yes, I do. I like copper. All right, I'm a bigger fan of brass for some reason. But thank you, Michael and Shane. Shane, appreciate you guys. Daggum. Josh Branson is having problems with the Kershaw Launch 8. Didn't have a good factory edge. He's had 4 people try and sharpen it, and the handles have gotten all scratched up and still haven't gotten it properly sharp. Send it to Ryan Pearson.
Take the blade out.
Yeah.
It's a little aggravating, but gotta worry about scratching it up.
Jeremy's a good sharpener. Freak show, Jeremy, he's a good sharpener. Uh, he does a killer job on some knives. He came down and stopped by my parents one day. I got to meet him and check out some of his knives. He had some of his collection with him, and he laid some killer edges on his blade. I think that's pretty much what he's been doing here lately, sharpening knives. He's been having, I think, back trouble, but he does a good job sharpening.
Who's that?
Jeremy, Freak Show on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Okay. Russell, he was in here.
Yeah, he was. He's not far from me. I think he lives down about Winston.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he had asked me something about where at in South Carolina I was at, I believe, in one of the other live streams. There's a
What was that? He switched from the Wicked Edge to the
TS Prof.
Yeah, TS Prof is what he's using now.
He uses what?
TS Prof.
Oh, okay.
Those were bad sharp.
The Wicked Edge is a good system. It takes some getting used to.
That's what I use on all my knives. I use Wicked Edge.
I think the PS Prop, I think it's a newer system that came out.
They make several different systems.
What in the world are you talking about, Christine? American Dream Nut Butter.
TS Prof.
Oh, never mind. They don't show up as links in the StreamYard chat. That's the deal. So the best way to get in touch with you, Ryan, is Instagram.
Yeah. That's the easiest way. I mean, you could email me or something, but I mean, if you have Instagram, that's the best way. If you don't have Instagram, I do get on Facebook some, but not a whole lot. Mostly everything is done on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Matter of fact, I think at one point you responded to a Facebook message on Instagram or something, or however you responded. I knew you made it known that you don't really get on Facebook that often because you hadn't seen the message or whatever. And I think I'd forgotten about it or something, and had ended up messaging you on Instagram about something totally unrelated, and then later on you responded to that Facebook message from way before.
Yeah, for a while I didn't know it, but I wasn't getting notifications. I've never been big on Facebook, and so I wasn't getting my notifications from Facebook to let me know when people were messaging me. And I had some that was months that I hadn't been on there and checked it because everything, like 99% of what I do is done off of Instagram.
Right. It's more it's easier to organize it there too, I feel like, and
It is. I think it's a lot better system for what I do.
Yeah. That gives people a chance. I mean, they don't have to read through a bunch of posts or whatever. They just see the pictures right there. They can get an idea of what you do. And
we've been talking about a website and stuff for a while, but I'm sure eventually there will be, but I still think the best way is to interact with them, figure out what they want. It's easier to tell me than it is to try to figure out stuff on a website, because it would be super hard to pick different handle materials because there's so much different stuff And to be able to put all that on a website would be nearly impossible.
Oh yeah. Yep, for sure. And you can ask Joe about. Oh, yeah, I was about to say, you can ask Joe about how great setting up a website is, and he said himself, website setup is a pain. He's been fighting it for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll eventually have one, but gosh, the
Mike,
choice would be hard to put all the options up there that somebody would have to choose from them.
yeah, you probably end up just having pay for custom orders for anything not that we don't show on the website. Contact
Yeah.
personally. Michael Morgan wants to know who the other gentleman is. He said Ryan, and who's the other gentleman? That's his older brother, Rodney. He
Yeah,
he helps him out with knives.
yeah, that's me. We're brothers, brothers in Christ. Uh, I'm his old man.
I see. Thanks. That's his father.
Yeah,
I Dude, I can remember specifically. I mean, not the date or anything, but I remember seeing the post in. I think it was still the Sharp Spot then. Rodney was posting about, "Hey, my son makes custom knives," and you run across people all the time that know somebody that makes knives, or they make knives, or and then I remember the first time I saw he posted a picture like, "Oh, this is a knife my son made," and I saw it and I was like, "Oh, you didn't tell me you made knives. Like you just said he made knives. So I didn't know this was like a legit like he makes knives."
yeah, yeah. I remember posting back in the Sharp Spot back in. Man,
I've had a lot of people help me push my knives out there, like doing stuff like this. You and Zach and Blade Banker, OCD for EDC, and they've all been good to me and showed my stuff and pushed my work out there, and it's helped a lot.
it's been good to get it out there in some people's hands and let them. You can look at a knife and yeah, it looks good, but you really need to feel that knife to get the experience.
You'll be able to tell the difference between something handmade.
Oh yeah.
His
Well, and then
hands just blow my mind, especially like that. This big knife, the stuff that I'm gonna do some chopping with or something. It's like it just, I mean, it's the perfect grip. Uh, he's meticulous about his handle work. Uh,
yeah, I've noticed that big time. Most, I mean, any custom knife like you're gonna have a little bit of deviation on the handles. Like and some of them, like you can see if you're not even looking for it, you see, oh, it's a little bit, tiny bit bigger on this side than it is on this side. And you can't see crap on Ryan's. Like he probably put the calipers on it and then maybe be a half a thousand off or some
Yeah.
crap.
I
But
put
yeah,
on them when
you
I'm
need to go down a thousandth here.
yeah,
your eye will tell you a lot. I mean, you look at stuff over and over, you'll be able to see it, but for the most part, like in the final finishes and stuff, I definitely check things.
Dang. I mean, your stuff, like the quality is absolutely perfect. But I think my big, um, one of my big reasons for just like having no problem promoting your stuff or sending somebody to you is I know you're going to be able to interpret what they're telling you about like how they want their knife to look, and that's how it's going to come out, and you're not going to You're not going to be one of those guys. Oh, I can't really do that. No, I can't do that. I mean, it's just going to get done. I've never known anybody to get a knife from you that wasn't happy with it. Like, so.
I appreciate it. I've only had to turn one person away, and he wanted some crazy saw blades on the back of it or something. Just wasn't something that I was, into, or even really at the time wasn't able to do it. Not saying I couldn't done it, but I wasn't really set up to do it, not the way he wanted.
Like the spine of the knife, you wanted a saw blade?
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Like a Rambo?
blade or
It was I cannot remember who made the knife the type of saw blades that he wanted on the back of it.
like that. Right?
It was one of them big companies, but there was some crazy looking teeth on the back of it. That's the only person I have had to tell no, but for the most part, everybody else is. I've tried to make one.
Well, we may have just found you another one, but and strictly for copyright reasons, because I feel pretty certain if you had one in front of you, you could duplicate it. But Michael Morgan wants to know if you can make him a TRM Shadow.
I won't copy. That's one of I try to make my own design.
Shadows.
It is a cool look. Yeah, I like the shadows.
Yeah, that Shadow's a cool looking knife.
There's so many different.
Just added it blade shadow. I got to hold it, try it. It felt better in the hand than me just looking at it. But once I got it in my hand, it felt good. It's a killer knife.
Do you have one, Rodney?
No, Justin had one.
Got
Down
to
at
see
Blade
one at
Show,
Blade
and
Show.
I checked it
Oh,
out.
okay.
It felt really good in the hand. It surprised me. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as what it was. I think Zach got nailed on it. I think maybe he's doing a review or going to do a review of it.
Yeah, Zach did have it. He did. That's right. Well, what is y'all's your favorite non-Pearson knife?
Oh God! Right now, mine's probably the Spyderco split Bowie knife.
I guess if I was going to choose one, it'd be the Yojimbo 2.
That one kind of surprises me.
Yeah.
I've been
It surprised the shit out of me too when I got somebody. I had somebody send me one, and it really surprised me how much I liked it.
I can't keep this bug out of my pocket, but
yeah.
4 weeks straight, I cannot quit carrying it.
There's so many out there; it's hard to choose. But I catch myself grabbing that Yojimbo more than the others.
I've heard that. That's not the first time I've heard that. I've heard that from a lot of people that they say I never realized how much I like the Yojimbo 2 until I got one in hand. And
I really like it.
I mean, we should. Yeah. It's built for self-defense, but it looks like it'd be just a really good utility blade too.
Yeah, I cut a lot of hoses and stuff at work. That thing does work. I like that blade style for my EDC purposes because with what I do, it works good.
Right. And that's the thing that's so cool about blade shapes is, especially nowadays, how everything's a modified something. Mm-hmm. It don't matter what what purpose you need the blade for. You're going to be able to find somebody that makes a blade shape that's perfect for what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many different blade shapes. It's hard to think about all of them. I think they all have a purpose. You can just find the one you like and run with it. That one
Oh yeah.
me though. I had a friend of mine. He was big into them, and he kept telling me I need to check one out. Finally got to, and I was hooked on that thing. I grab it all the time. It's a little bigger than what I'm used to carrying. Like I carry a bug out a lot, or like since Blade Show, I've been carrying the AD 20.5 a lot. The Jimbo's a little bigger and blockier, but it's still I really like.
It's thin behind the edge though, isn't it? The Jimbo.
Yeah, yeah, very.
Like
Yeah,
it looks like it's paper thin.
and the one I have is 20 CV and carbon fiber. The hollow grind. I mean, it's a slicer for sure.
Dang.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought, wow, that's a wild looking knife.
Yeah,
I didn't really care for it, but after you get it and try it out, it's a slicer.
got shit out of it. So,
I like
I mean,
bombshell, the Spyderco bombshell. I like it. Uh, it's a cool little knife.
yeah, it's a burly little fella too.
I guess being left-handed, I do stuff right-handed, but the compression lock used to pinch my fingers. And I didn't really care for the Spyderco because of that. But I tried one of them CMEs. I got a PM3 now that I carry some. Uh, the CME helped me as far as getting my fingers pinched. I don't get them pinched anymore, but
Spyderco guys tear you up for saying PM3.
it's a
Christine's asking about your "If you know, you know" shirt, Rodney.
oh, yeah.
He said, "What's your shirt say?"
It says a little bit of everything. 20 CV, M4, you know.
If you know, you know, Christine.
Just can't read it.
Let's see here. Yeah, I actually had my same exact shirt on earlier.
Yeah, Lefty sent me this one. I think let's see. Yeah, I went one of his giveaways. One of this.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah,
One,
I remember that giveaway.
yeah, that was cool.
Is it?
I've been
He,
lucky on giveaways over the years, I guess. I probably won 5 or so.
oh wow,
Yeah.
heck yeah. The, well, then there's some out there that win 5 in 1 week.
Oh,
Seems
yeah.
like.
Yeah. I don't put in for that many of them. Like on the channel giveaways, I will.
I've won 2 on
I
Zach.
watch the videos. I'll comment, but like on the Instagram giveaway, a lot of them I don't enter. Probably 90% of them enter. I need to have a big giveaway. Uh, putting it off, trying to get what I want to give away.
I can't remember the last giveaway I even entered. I know that the last one I won was I think a hitch and timber. No, beard and owl giveaway. And I didn't even know I did. I mean, I knew I'd entered it when I entered it, but I'd forgotten about it. They messaged me and said, "Hey, you won. We need your address." I said, "I won what? What did I win? How did I win? You entered our giveaway." Oh,
I entered a couple on National Knife Day uh, giveaways, but didn't win. I think it was 2 years ago. I won a case from Smoky Mountain. That was pretty cool. Won that case knife.
I think we had like several of the YouTube people won the some National Knife Day giveaways this year.
I seen Christine. I think she won that new what is it, Arctic Storm Spyderco that Smoky Mountain had.
I know she won a ProTech, a TR4, I think, 3 or 4. T4. 4 sounds right. Um
Spyderco. I think she won it, but maybe she didn't. Yeah, I used to play in the waffles a lot. That was a bad combination.
yeah.
I won some nice knives, but dang, man, I got tied up in them and
Spent way more.
God, I could have bought several goblins for what I spent trying to win one.
Yeah, that's why I've never gotten into really doing raffles, is because by the time I won something, I would have spent probably more money than the item actually cost to begin with. I would have done better just to go out and buy it.
Not like the old poker machines.
Yeah.
I used to play those years ago.
The video poker.
Yeah, yeah, I hit several, but I lost a lot playing them too.
Are they still legal in North Carolina?
Yeah, no, hey, we can't have them in North Carolina now.
Oh, you can't. Okay. I remember y'all. We were outlawed before y'all were, because we'd if you head up to Monroe, there used to be several little poker joints right there at the state line, like right over the state line, where you could go drive 45 minutes from home and still play. But I did sign work for a while, and they were all the time calling us to do work on their neon. I'm trying to figure out what happened to Ego, because everybody's saying sorry to hear that, Eggs. Oh, that type. It was a poop show.
Uh,
Sorry to hear that, Ego. I think they're moving.
no, his mom's cat had a seizure and died.
What, Eggs did?
Yeah,
Dang.
his mom's cat. Wow.
Well, that sucks, Ego. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
And you said you hadn't eaten. You need to get something to eat, homie. I know it's not as late there as it is here, but that don't matter. It's midnight here. You need to eat. So, what y'all think of Blade Show? Was this y'all's first Blade Show when you went last year or this
No.
year?
We went to the one before that, and they didn't have it, last year or whatever, the one before that, and then this year.
Y'all were at there at 2019.
Yeah, we seen you there.
Why didn't you say hey?
I thought, didn't you?
No, we didn't.
I think you were talking.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Yeah, I think so. Not this year.
No, not here. He went, but we did. Yeah, we didn't.
We was there on Saturday. We didn't stay the whole weekend that time.
You were on in 2019 Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I went. I didn't go Sunday at all, and I just went for. I didn't go early on Friday. Would they open at like 2 o'clock, I think, and by the time we got there, it was 3 or 4, something like that. So we were just there a little bit on Friday, but all day Saturday.
that's
That was a lot of walking.
yeah.
that's a lot.
This
Yeah.
year we did Friday and then all day Saturday. And was gonna go back Sunday, but I was burnt out. I was ready to hit the road and get home. Had to work Monday, so it's about a what 4.5, 5 hour drive for us. Not too bad, but
Yeah, it's a pretty good haul. I think next year we'll go down like on Thursday and spend the night and then spend all weekend, take Monday off too.
Yeah. And that's the I had planned to go all 3 days, but it was taking the Monday off, between taking the Monday off and then all walking around all day Saturday, and then went and hung out down at the pit for several hours afterwards, and I was done by then too.
it's a
And
lot.
pl-
Uh,
and the only bad thing about it, I mean, it all would have been about the same, is uh the Galleria is actually like a hour and a half closer to home than my parents' house is. So if we had left from the Galleria, it would have been a little bit shorter drive, but because we stayed at my parents' house and then drove in um, Saturday morning,
Yeah,
because it's like an hour and a half drive from my parents' house to where the Galleria is.
they live in Georgia.
Yeah, they live up in Blairsville. They're about 30 minutes from Murphy, North Carolina,
mm,
and what's Hazel, I think, is the one they're like really close to. Yeah.
There's so many. Murphy sounds familiar, but there's so many
It's
little towns in North Carolina. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're over there in the corner where there's one spot you can go where uh you can hit the North Carolina. Let's see, there's North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, something else. Like there's a point where like all these states come together. You know where Brasstown Bald is, or no, Copper Hill, Tennessee. They can see the Hill, the Copper Hill, Tennessee from their house.
well, I had never heard of it,
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've never heard of a couple of
Did a lot of mining there, so like all the hillsides are just red clay looking, so it looks like the hills are copper, but it's the actual name of the town too. Uh-oh. Looks like, how far back was that?
North Carolina.
Not too far. At one point Lone Wolf said he's gonna commission a custom Tomahawk, so I'm guessing he's talking about from you, Ryan.
Yeah, I've talked to him about it.
Okay, right on. That's what up. I know Lefty loves his.
yeah. I think that's his truck call.
Yeah, it is.
Lefty got the first one. I had been wanting to build some for a while and just hadn't had the time, and he wanted to do one, so we got together on it. They took off from there. I'm finishing up 3. I was hoping to have them done this week. Hopefully everything will work out and get them done this week.
Oh, yeah. I I feel like I won't be able to resist. At some point, I'll be getting one from you too. I'm
Alright.
holding out for right now. I think everybody needs a custom tomahawk at some point.
Yeah, me too.
and a
Everybody.
and a 15-inch blade Bowie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
We're just
must
make a
have.
matching set.
And then, well, it ought to be you ought to do a set with the kukri, the Bowie, and the tomahawk.
That'll work too. We can do it.
Oh,
Wow,
they're big red. Which whoever carries that is probably they're gonna have to be in good shape because that's a lot of steel.
Yeah, a lot.
What's up, Jody Bear? How you doing, buddy? Speaking of which, we got a little bit of time. I want to shut it down a little bit earlier to give people time to go do anything they need to do before SKL at 1 o'clock. Well, 1 o'clock our time, real time.
Yeah,
No,
I have a
So-
hard time. I've missed a lot of SAL because it'll be right before the time to start. And I'll fall asleep. God, I missed it again. And,
I ended up having to set. I've got a permanent alarm on my phone set, but my only problem is when I'll be like recording a video or whatever, so I'll shut the cut do not disturb on so it won't ring and do all that crap, and I'll forget to cut it back off, so then none of my alarms work.
yeah, hopefully I'll be awake tonight. I'll catch the first part. I know if I don't fall asleep on it.
I swear I've been in SKL before. You falling asleep and then woke back up and jumped right back into it before.
Yeah, I have. Uh,
Well, does anybody have any last minute questions before uh, we shut this thing down? And I mean, I'm assuming there's SKL tonight, but what's it? Oh, okay, I got you. Jody Bear's Saturday Night Saturday Night Live. There you go. But I see Josh Worth all over the place. So I forgot that, or I didn't know he. Make sure you say 10 p.m. Left Coast time, Big Red, because that regular 10 p.m. is going to confuse people. I just take for granted that everybody knows what it is and I don't elaborate.
yeah, East Coast.
It's hard to keep up with all the different times, different people's and stuff. I have a hard time.
2
Which
hours.
and I think Josh is from Australia too, so he's totally like he's not a different time zone. He's a different day zone.
Yeah, yeah.
Right on, Josh. Yeah, he's got the good one. Him and Zach do the best live streams. Can I see Matisfaction? Can I see a Pearson knife if you have one? That is, I have one, and I'm sure they can show you one. This is one that Ryan just made not too long ago, and it was basically just a little small game and fishing knife.
This one has the red fat carbon. If I can get the light to pick it up right.
Oh yeah, he's got some killer fat carbon on his. He likes to use that, and I know Justin, Tier 1 Justin, loves you for it.
Yeah. A lot of them I have to get out of Europe. Some is like the red, the purple. Some of those colors is not available from dealers in the U.S. Like the green, some of those, like the blue, the white, you can get those from dealers in the U.S. But there's a few of the colors that I have to get out of Europe to get them.
But they're not, people don't carry it here? Or?
Yeah, I guess I've talked to a couple of them, and I think they keep a few. Well, actually, the only place I know in the U.S. that carries fat carbon is Maker Material Supply,
Oh, okay.
and like to get it out of Europe and stuff and pay the shipping, you got to buy it. Like usually, I'll buy a sheet of it to make it worth paying the shipping and stuff to get it here. My favorite is the red. They call it red lava.
Yeah.
The
Where's
purple. Well, they're all. I like them all, I guess.
I know Justin likes that red and black.
Mm-hmm.
This is one Ryan made for me, gosh, probably 5 years ago. It may have been one I posted on Sharp Spot.
It's a prison shank.
Yeah, it carries good. I like it because
we gotta get
it'll
some
lock in the
light.
hand. Yeah, my light ain't good. It's just a ring.
Oh, I like that. A ringtail.
Yeah, it's 01. I've beat it through it, and it's been a good old guy. That's probably one of the first ones he made me.
It's yeah.
They last a lifetime.
I've got boxes full of boat anchors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some of the first ones they were big old heavy, cool small handles, big huge blades, little bitty handles. You gotta get your proportions and stuff right. I want to say it was like 2016, I think. Towards the end of 2016 when I started messing around with it. You know, for a long time it was just me playing around and building my own stuff. A couple of years ago, it took off to be what it is now. I didn't ever intend for it to turn into what it did. It just kind of gradually went there.
I think a lot of things in our lives end up doing that.
Yeah,
That's not what I intended. That's just kind of where it went.
yeah. I'm very thankful for everything that people put their trust in me and they spend their money with me, and I appreciate it.
Well, you've got a bunch of people that are satisfied customers like I said, I've never met a dissatisfied customer. So that's good advertising right there. Especially, you know how good advertising word of mouth is in the knife community, because somebody is always looking for something that somebody has had experience with,
Yeah,
and that's the best way. Like here, people asking, hey, what do you think about this? What's your opinion of this? Well, who do you know that, where can I get a good custom fixed blade? Ryan Pearson.
I appreciate that.
Well, and it's just because you can make anything and it's going to be good quality. It's going to be exactly what they want. So there's no reason to send them anywhere else. And your prices I still think they're way too low.
I try to keep them down. I think they still scare some people, but they're nothing like a lot of custom makers.
No, you're still back. That guy that basically has an angle grinder, and that's how he's making his knives. That's the prices he charges, not somebody that's been got an actual shop and makes knives that are something you'd buy in a store. I think you're doing pretty jam up.
appreciate it. I think that there's a lot of makers out there that's overcharging. I know that there's work in it and stuff like that, but I think some of them just going too far with it.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
it's all in the materials. What materials? There's a lot of work goes into a custom knife.
there's makers using the same materials I'm using and charging $800 or $1,000 for that knife. I just can't see it.
Yeah. And honestly, I've seen, especially, and I'm sure y'all saw it at Blade Show too, that there was people there charging prices on knives that, and it's a custom. Okay, you mean by custom, you mean somebody made it by hand, because I can't see anybody in the world wanting that custom made for them,
Yeah.
especially not at that price. They
Yeah.
tend to, anything that's they put together with their hands, they want to call it a custom and charge out the butt for. Well, guys, I really appreciate you coming on.
We appreciate you
All
having
right,
us.
John. We
Oh
enjoyed
yeah,
it.
anytime, y'all come on anytime. Just like Joe and my other buddies, y'all can anytime you want to sit around and shoot the crap, hit me up.
Anytime
Y'all
you
are
need.
more than welcome.
Oh, yeah, we enjoyed it.
Hope everybody has a good evening and good night.
Well, I'm sure we'll see y'all a little bit on SKL.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The other day. Wouldn't miss it.
Heck no, unless I wouldn't miss it unless I miss it.
I have been nap. I'm good tonight. Let's go. Oh,
Well, everybody in the chat: Josh Worth, EDC Oz, Mark Herrera, Faction, Dan Brock, Jason Brown, Big Red, Jody Bear, Worm, Beaster, Stacy, Joe. Anybody else I may need to go back further? Marcos, Ego, Christine, Wolfman, Zach. Appreciate all you guys hanging out with me and keeping me company on a Saturday night. And love each and every one of you. You guys are welcome here anytime. Until next time, get on out there and EDC your ass off and do something nice for somebody. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Right.